Hello everyone, this is 𝙈𝙧𝙧𝙧𝙧𝙧𝙧𝙧𝙧𝙧 with Sparkling Shine Guidance. Happy December! Oh my goodness, it is December and this is the last month of 2022. Isn't that crazy? I wanted to share with y'all that we're going to be talking about the full moon in Gemini and just kind of some of the things that are happening astrologically in this first week of December. Hi, if you're just joining, type in the chat, let me know if you're feeling this very mutable Gemini energy at play. So we're building to a full moon in Gemini next week. It will be conjunct Mars. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But first I want to say I'm celebrating the release of the planetary planner. If you haven't already gotten your planetary planner, this is a great week to do so because digital planners will be available, but I'm having a very big Mars retrograde issue with the print of these planners. So if you know you want to get a paper planner from me for 2023 that goes through each of the new and full moons, the equinoxes, all of the transits that are happening in 2023 that are massive, definitely get your planner this week, so the first week in December, because I don't know what's going to happen with them. I do know I will have digital planners through the new year, through into 2023. So I just want to make that quick announcement because if you know you want one, I just recommend getting it early because I don't know what's going to happen here. It's been a very interesting year. The universe has been showing me some very interesting things this fall, and I'm really massively upgrading in the house that Gemini is in. So wherever your Gemini house is, houses is in your chart is where you're undergoing a massive reconstruction process in the way that you are moving yourself forward, and the ways that you're initiating the energy, all of those things. So for me, this is my 10th and 11th house, which is work in the world and community. So this is definitely coming up for me. There's going to be some big changes in my business once again. And so, yeah, look at where Gemini house is for you. See if you can notice some correlation between what you're kind of being challenged with and the things that are coming up for you. Because while the challenge is painful and not so fun, it's trying to lead us into something even more juicy. So I had planned on announcing and pushing forward with my astrology membership for 2023, and the universe has redirected me in a massive way. So I have something new that I will be announcing in the coming days, weeks, and I'm super, super excited about it. It feels so juicy and amazing, and I'm very excited about it. If you want to get into the free masterclass that's happening at this full moon, so the full moon is on Wednesday, December 7th. Hi, Martha. How are you doing? So the full moon is Wednesday, December 7th, and I am doing a masterclass that day. So if you are on my mailing list already, you don't need to sign up. I'll be sending the Zoom link out to those of you on my mailing list. But if you're not on my mailing list yet, it's definitely a good time to do so that you'll get that link. And then I'm also doing a lot of special offers this month for December as we transition. I love this time of year. For me personally, I really feel that the winter solstice is such a important time. For me, it's like the new moon energy on steroids, on crack or something. It's like such a fruitful time to take all that we've shedded away and sifted and sorted through in the fall and really create this new seed to carry us through the following cycles. So I think of winter solstice as like the seed energy, spring equinox is like the flowering energy, summer is the fruit of our labor, and fall is that compost and the sifting and sorting and like shedding energy. So for me, I absolutely love this winter solstice time. And so I do a lot of special offers during that time and special ways to work with me in the coming cycles, in the coming year. I'm really excited about the offerings that I have coming through, and it is a massive redirection from the universe. And, you know, my ego's not so happy about certain things, but it's happening. And so that's where I'm going. I feel really good about it. And so this full moon highlights kind of this midway point in this Mars retrograde season. This Mars retrograde has been challenging. It's going to continue to be challenging through probably February. So look at where this is happening for you. And ultimately, we want to look at the midway of Gemini. Do you have planets or placements 15, 16 degrees of Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, or Sagittarius? If so, wow, you're getting either that conjunction, that square energy, the opposition energy with this full moon, and also with Mars. So not only are you going through the Mars retrograde, but you're also getting hit and pinged in that way. So if you're feeling just like really like your nervous system is overtaxed, or you're feeling fatigued and burnt out, really look at your chart and really understand, like, where is this happening for you, and how can you replenish? How can you nourish? How can you kind of just really take good care of your nervous system at this time? Because our nervous system is being taxed, it tells us that we're trying to digest things, and I'm not talking about physically and literally, but because of that, you might also notice digestion issues. You might notice you don't want to eat as much as you were eating, or you're trying to eat too much, and that's affecting you. Okay, Martha says, Sun and South Node in 9th house Gemini, so tired. Yes, and this is the thing we're hearing, like, I'm so tired. And so tired physically, but also so tired of the way things are. So tired of social media, so tired of X, Y, and Z, certain dynamics and partnerships, certain things that are happening in the world, certain business things. Like, so look at where the Gemini house is for you. So where are you being taxed in that way? Where are you depleting a lot of your nervous system energy, and how can you build it back in? So that being said, for this next week in particular, but all the way through Mars retrograde, being aware what you're putting into your body. I was so proud of myself today. I have my green smoothie. It's kind of ugly looking, my jar of green smoothie here, but my green smoothie, my chia seed pudding, and just taking the time to nourish the body, taking the time to put things in that you're going to be able to digest well. And if you're noticing that you're having trouble digesting other things that aren't food related, relationships, business things, money issues, ways of relating, try to set times for yourself to digest it. What does that look like? What would that be like? Well, we're talking about digesting situations and energies. That is an alchemical process that requires space, time, stillness, receiving, releasing, all of those things. And so if you haven't had a chance to check out my Quantum Liberation Masterclass, that is something, it's $55. It's on my website. It's amazing. And it goes through this process for you to liberate yourself, digest, and clear anything that has clogged you up from this last year, that has clogged you up from these last few months, and really get in a place of releasing so that you have space to receive the new, so that you have the bandwidth to receive the new. And so December is a lot about that. Recognizing what needs to be digested, recognizing where you're being depleted and where you're not allowing that space to digest because you're taking in too much, you're on social media too much, or you're watching too much TV, or you're, giving too much energy to a relationship, thing, person, place. Call your energy back. Take the space you need, take the time you need, do the things that feed you, work your tools, and reset your energy. So this is the opportunity. So if you're interested in that masterclass that I have, just get on my mailing list so that you'll get that link for Wednesday on the full moon. I'm doing an amazing masterclass that is about using the elements to manifest, So you'll notice that during times when there's a lot, so there's literally no personal planets right now in earth signs. So there's no personal planets right now in earth signs. And when we have the full moon on Wednesday, at that point, Mercury, thankfully, thank the Lord, will have moved into Capricorn, giving us some of that earthy, grounded energy. But until then, and even beyond then, I won't wear, I have bird earrings, feather earrings. I will not wear things that are going to make me more ungrounded, the things that are going to bring more air into my life. I also mindful of if it's windy out, I don't want to be out there right now, and so what are the things that earth you, that ground you? What are the things that really bring you a state of stability and peace, and amplify those in the next week, because there is so much fire and air, and we're really talking about mutable. So mutable energy. So until the full moon, we have all of the personal planets are in either fire or air or water. We have basically Jupiter and Pisces is the only thing. So when we have that happening, it's very ungrounding. There's no earth to build from. But it is a time of burning things off, fire. It is a time of letting things clear out with the air. And so we really want to be aware of how to utilize that energy, but also balance it out with our grounding, with things that nourish and ground us. So type it in the chat. Let me know if you've been feeling that ungrounded energy and if you have different tools that you'd like to share about grounding and earthing yourself, because it's super important to share those. As I said in the beginning of my live, I do have the planetary planners available for 2023. I always start the planners at the winter solstice because to me that is the start of the new cycle. And so if you want to get that, I highly recommend, if you know you want to get a paper version, really this week, I might just put a pause on ordering the paper planners after that because I'm having issues with the printing company that I'm not even going to go into. But I do have the digital version and that will continue to be available. So the planetary planners are available. I also have a giveaway going on my Sparkle and Shine Guidance Instagram page. So if you aren't already following me there, you definitely want to do that because it's a giveaway of over $1,000 in product and services. And it's super exciting to be able to give that away. It's in correlation with Hathor's Honey. So super excited about that. So I have the giveaway. I have the free masterclass happening on December 7th. Definitely get on my mailing list so that you get that invitation, so that you get that Zoom link. It's going to be in a Zoom room. And then I also have year ahead readings. So those are 333, and they go into not only your full astrological chart for the upcoming year, but also a beautiful tarot spread that goes into each month, each season for the year. I can't tell you, like in the past when I've done these, like people not only remember these and they are so potent for people, but life-changing information coming through. It really is part channeled, part tarot, part astrology. And I take great pride in like being able to offer that. And I thank you all so much for trusting me in that because it is a lot, right? So that's available. And with this full moon, looking at where 15 to 16 degrees of Gemini is in your chart. I had a wonderful post just recently, I think it was just yesterday, about this Mars retrograde. So this full moon is conjunct Mars retrograde. It's literally less than a degree away. So we have the full moon at 15 degrees of Gemini, and we have Mars retrograde happening at 16 degrees Gemini. So it's very important to understand where that's happening in your chart. What is it pinging? What is it highlighting? Where are you being asked to illuminate that area of your life? Where are you being asked to recalibrate, re-energize, and rework that area? Also, because we're in Sagittarius season, it highlights that polarity of Sagittarius, which we also have at the time of the full moon. We'll have the Sun and Venus in Sagittarius, which is really important to look at because we're talking about this fire and air polarity, and it has to do with our desires with Venus and then our ability to just work towards those desires. And sometimes we think we're working towards our desires, but the universe is wanting to redirect us. So pay attention to the signs, pay attention to the hits you're getting, pay attention to the blocks and the roadblocks, barricades, things that are coming up for you around what you think you want, and allow the universe to redirect you. The mutable signs have to do with change. They have to do with metamorphosis, morphing. It's mutability, it's change. And so where have you been resisting change? Where have you been resisting the flow? Where have you been resisting the things that you know deep down are not really happening in the way that is working for you? So mutability has to do with change. The sky is full of mutability right now and for the next week. And we also have Neptune in Pisces. And, Neptune and Jupiter both in Pisces. And of course, as an astrologer, I can't really say it's creating this T-square because it's a very wide orb T-square. But energetically, for sure, Neptune is involved in this full moon and asking us to really look at where we are deceiving ourselves, where we've been misleading ourselves, where we've been working against our own body, our own nervous system to come to some end that we think is going to bring us some joy that is not currently here. If you're not doing something that brings you joy, it's never going to bring you joy. If you're taking actions in your life because you think it's going to end up bringing you joy in the future, you're sadly mistaken, right? So we want to be reorganizing our lives right now and reassessing where we've been giving energy to things that aren't bringing us joy in the moment. And so, hi Anastasia. So yeah, type it in the chat if you're feeling this very like busy Gemini energy. I'm curious how you've been grounding yourself. And of course, on the replay of this, I'd love to hear that too. Different tools that we can share with each other to remember that grounded energy, as right now there are no personal planets in earth signs. So there's no grounding. Okay, so when we have this very wide orb T-square, which I know most astrologers are going to be like, it's not a T-square, this is really... It's okay, energetically, this is a very interesting T-square, okay? And it points us to look at our Virgo house. Well, that's interesting because Virgo is it's co-ruled with Gemini, where the full moon is, by Mercury. So then we'd want to look to Mercury in the chart, and Mercury is newly in Capricorn at the time of this full moon. So we really want to lean into that earthly way of like literally digesting and being connected with the earth and slowing our roll. So look at what is in your Virgo house, if anything, and really lean into that energy for the next week, really, because even though Virgo is co-ruled by Mercury, it's like, there's Gemini and Virgo, and their co-ruler is Mercury. Woo! The difference between the two is that Gemini is a much more flighty, heady energy, and Virgo takes us down into our gut, into our digestive system. So really paying attention to what you're feeding yourself, your health, your well-being, and giving yourself that time and space to digest whatever's coming through. I keep saying the same thing again, so that lets me know I've said what I needed to say for today. I love you all. Check out the giveaway on my page. If you haven't already entered it, you might want to do that. And I have a free masterclass on Wednesday, the day of the full moon. So the full moon is Wednesday, December 7th. I have a masterclass that day. It's free. If you're already on my mailing list, no worries. You're going to get that Zoom login. Maybe make sure that my messages aren't going to your spam box, but otherwise you'll get that. If you're not on my mailing list, it's a good time to get on there so that you can join us in the Zoom room for this masterclass about using the elements to manifest. I'm super excited to share more with you. Take good care of yourselves, and toodles for now. Happy Friday.